Well, it's Christmas time and you're thinking about buying someone a Bible. But you go to Amazon and you type in Bible, and there are pages and pages and pages. Even if you narrow it down to Bibles for men or Bibles for kids or something, you're just going to find so many, and the top 5 to 7 are probably sponsored and somebody paid to have it there. So here's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to give you 10 different Bibles after reviewing Bibles, looking at Bibles, having Bibles mailed to me, looking at all different kinds. I've got lots of different ones, and I have narrowed it down to 10 that are for different occasions, different people. And so I'm going to start with the youngest, move up a little bit, and then kind of some special circumstances type Bibles. I've got my big stack of Bibles here. I'm going to give you 10 in this video, and I'm breaking this video down into chapters. So if you're looking for something specific, you'll be able to go right and find the one that I recommend in this. So I'm sure that you are going to find the perfect Bible to give to somebody here in this video. Now, before we dive into those 10 Bibles, I want to make sure you get my free resource, The Simplest Way to Study Any Bible Passage. You can just go to keithfarron.com/simplestway or click the link down below. Now let's dive in. All right, if you've got little kids, then I love the Jesus Storybook Bible. Now, it's not a complete Bible, but man, it's just a really good, when you're looking for a storybook Bible that just has a collection of the stories from Scripture. I think that the way that they tell the stories are great, and I want to just give a little caveat to that. My kids and I, we loved to, and my wife, we loved the Jesus Storybook Bible when they were kids, but we specifically, when this Bible was recommended to us, the person said, make sure that you get the deluxe edition that comes with the CD, with the audio Bible, so that you can listen to it. And I'm so glad that we did, because the reader that does the Jesus Storybook Bible is truly, I think he's an actor, he's at least an audiobook reader, and he's probably one of the best audiobook readers, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks, that I've ever heard. And so just the energy and life that he brings to it is just so good. So if you've got little kids, then the Jesus Storybook Bible is definitely one you're going to want to check out. All right, the next one, if you've got kind of early readers, you've got young elementary, maybe getting into middle elementary, second, third, into even fourth grade or something like that, then I would recommend you can see this is kind of worn out because we used it a lot, the Day by Day Kids Bible. And it's designed for early readers. And what they've done is they've taken a vast majority of the Bible and they've broken it up into 7-minute readings. And so you can go through the whole Bible in a year, look at reading it 7 minutes a day. And just the way that they've done it, obviously since it's still for younger kids, they don't cover every single word. It's not a translation per se, but it's kind of that next step from a children's Bible that has 30 to 50, 60 stories into how do we get the big scope of Scripture. And we really enjoyed this when our kids were younger. We enjoyed reading this as a family, as a way to go through the big narrative of Scripture. And you could, since it's only 7 minutes, you could actually read the whole Bible in 6 months if you just dedicated 15 minutes a day. So if you're looking for a Bible to read together as a family, the Day by Day Kids Bible for early readers is great. Okay, the next age up would be kind of in that 3rd to 6th grade area, and that is the Action Bible. And the Action Bible is, again, it's not the entire Bible. It's not a translation just for kids or something like that. It is the Bible in, it's a very popular Bible. You've probably heard of it. If you've been around this channel, I did a full review on several of these Bibles. But the guy that did it, that they got to animate it, is Sergio Cariello. And he animated a lot of the DC comics for a long time. And so I've just seen so many kids that are, 10 years old to 14 years old that just can't put it down, that just get to know that big arc of Scripture really, really well, just because they read this over and over and over again. And so it's just kind of, you've heard me talk about the watch the movie and then study the scenes. Man, this is a fantastic one to get your kind of 10-year-old to 14-year-old to watch the movie over and over and over again. It's done really, really well. And little bonus to that, if you wanted to go deeper, there is now, because the Action Bible got so popular, there's now an Action Bible, study Bible, and there are different kind of resources that build on that. So if your kid loves the Action Bible, then there are study tools that will help them go deeper into studying Scripture rather than just reading the Action Bible. So it's just really, really cool how it's caught on and how they've really built on it and kind of have this almost Action Bible kind of ecosystem that really helps kids dive more deeply into the Bible. Action Bible's awesome. All right, if you have a teenager or quite honestly, even a college student, then the Apologetics Study Bible for Students, I did a review of this Bible on my channel here, and I'll link to some of those. The Bibles that I'm sharing here that I've done full reviews on, I'll link to those reviews in the description. But this Apologetics Study Bible, in a culture where there are so many lies that are just accepted as truth and just things that are said matter-of-factly as if they were fact and that can just be confusing and just muddy the waters. I think that the beauty of this Bible is that it's a great Bible. It's the CSB translation. It's a really, really solid translation. But then the notes and some of the articles that just address difficult questions that kids have about creation or so many different apologetics things. How do I talk to somebody from a different religion, and how do we navigate that? And it's just it really is a fantastic resource. It's a resource that I wish that I had when I was a teenager and when I was a youth pastor. This would have been the Bible that I would have given to my middle school and high school students. But even if your kid is graduating from high school this year and going on to college, man, I think this would be a fantastic resource to give them, the Apologetics Study Bible in the Christian Standard Bible. All right, the remainder of the Bibles that I'm going to share are all kind of full translations, different kinds of study Bibles, different layouts, different things like that, rather than being specifically age related, you could really give this to anybody that you're wanting to give a full Bible to, but it will, each one kind of has a unique purpose. So it depends on what you want to give someone the Bible for. And so the first one in that category that I'm going to look at is the day-by-day chronological Bible. And this is the Christian Standard Bible, and it's got what I like about this is while it's divvied up to be reading through the Bible in a full year, the way that it is laid out with the text in readable, one single column, it's really, really readable. I love it that if you're the quality of this paperback Bible, it lays open really beautifully. So you could even have it laying down if you have a coffee or you have a journal or something like that. And at the beginning of each day is a little reading, kind of a devotional reading, maybe giving a little context or something like that. But this particular Bible, it breaks it up into daily chunks. It has that devotional at the beginning and context that you could skip if you wanted to, because it's in blue and all the Bible text is in white. If you just wanted to read the Bible, you could completely skip the blue and just read through. And this Bible, it's every word in the Bible. It's the complete text of the Christian Standard Bible, but it's laid out in chronological order. So you've seen on this site probably that I have a free download that you can get that's just a chronological printable reading plan that puts the Bible in chronological order. Well, this Bible just does it for you and puts the Bible in chronological order. and you can just read right through it. And so when I used this, because I read for an amount of time rather than amount of content, and I didn't want it to be a checklist, I used this Bible, but I read the Bible in like, I don't know, 4 to 6 months or something like that. And so I just would read for 20, 30 minutes. And so I would get through 2 days or sometimes 3 or even 4 days if I had 45 minutes or something like that. And so I would just put a bookmark in it. So I wasn't using this as the week 3, day 5, whatever. I just kind of ignored the days, but I loved the fact that it was just laid out perfectly in chronological order, and I could just use a normal bookmark, walk my way through the Bible, and then I probably would. I did read the context on the days when I was starting a new book of the Bible or something like that. But it is fantastic whether you are doing a rapid Bible read through, like I've written about in my book about reading the Bible in 6 months or less, or whether you're doing a full 365-day reading plan. This is my favorite one to do a full Bible read through with. All right, if you're just looking for a unique Bible, you're giving this gift to somebody who already has a Bible, who's already pretty regular in the Word. They already own a Bible, maybe they own a study Bible, and you want to give them something unique. You know they love the Bible, and you want to give them something creative. I've done a review of this one as well, but it's called the Readable Bible. And Rod Laughlin put this together. And it's really, really cool the way that he basically said, okay, what if the Bible writers had access to word processors and page layout? How would they actually lay out the Bible? And so a good chunk of the Bible is just in that single column text, rather than double column like most Bibles. But when it gets to something like a genealogy, instead of just listing all the names, it puts it in the family tree. And when it comes to the description of the temple or something like that, it puts it takes all that information from the Bible and lays it out in like a blueprint building plan, or some of the kind of legal documents that are in Scripture, because are laid out as legal documents, and you'll actually see the layout different. If you want to see how all the different layouts, the multiple different layouts, and the cascading text, and that just make it really readable, which was his goal, to take the Bible and say, okay, how would we actually, if we were putting a building plan, or we were putting a legal document, or we were putting a contract, or we were putting a genealogy, how would we lay it out to make it visually just easier to digest? And of course, he's got maps in different times in there. But I just found this was a really creative kind of addition. I don't know that I would give the Readable Bible to somebody who doesn't own a Bible as their one Bible that they own. But if you're giving a Bible to somebody who already has a good Bible, that they would love it. If they already enjoy reading the Bible, this is going to give them a new perspective on it that I think they're just absolutely going to love. So the Readable Bible. Okay, so this next Bible, if you are looking specifically for a Bible for men or a Bible for women, then the He Reads Truth or She Reads Truth Bible is a fantastic resource. I will be having coming out here in the next couple weeks. I did a full kind of unboxing and review of this edition that they sent me. You can buy, they're all the way from kind of $25 to $30 editions all the way up to this really nice premium one that came in this box that's $120 to $150 or something like that. There's so many different editions of these Bibles, but they're fantastic Bibles for specifically with different call outs and notes and different things for men and for women. So I really think that what the He Reads Truth and She Reads Truth Bibles have done, specifically if you're getting one for a man or a woman, I think they're really kind of top notch when it comes to that. So check it out. All right, we're going to land the plane here with these last three. So If you've been around this channel for a while, you've heard me talk about the difference between Bible reading and Bible study. That there is kind of, I've already alluded to in this video, the watching the movie and the studying the scenes. And for me, I know that if I only have a study Bible, when I'm first entering a book study and I'm looking at Ephesians or I'm looking at the book of Acts or a gospel, if I've got all the notes and charts and maps and everything on the page, I can't not look at them. And so having a reading Bible that has very few notes on the page or no notes on the page is super helpful. And one of my favorite reading Bibles is the Filament Bible. If you read the New Living Translation, there's a Filament Bible. And then the CSB has one called the Digital Bible Study Edition. And the physical Bible that you get has very few notes. It's not a reader's Bible. It's not a Bible that has no numbers, no notes, and all of that. It has the numbers and has the text and all of that formatted like a normal Bible, but it doesn't have all the study notes at the bottom, maybe just a couple little translation notes or something like that. But with the Filament Bible, you've got a QR code in the front that you scan. You get a free app that then ties it. It knows exactly from that QR code which physical edition you have, so that you can then, when you're reading the Bible and you want to study it, then you can actually scan the page number, the code at the top of the page by the page number, and it will open up the study notes. So you got a reading Bible and a study Bible built into the same Bible without buying a second study Bible. So it's a way to get a reading Bible and a study Bible, but only pay for one Bible. And like I said, this one right here is the New Living Translation, and that's called the Filament Bible or the Filament Enabled Bible. So if you want to search, I'll link to this one, but if you want to search for, at christianbook.com or Amazon, and you just type in Filament Enabled Bible, then it will give you lots of different options and layouts and large text and all of that kind of thing. If you want to read the Christian Standard Bible, the CSB, then it's not called the Filament Enabled. That's a specific thing to New Living Translation, but it's called the Digital Study Edition, and that will take that and have a lot of the study resources. They're laid out a little bit differently, but it allows you to get the reading Bible and the study Bible for the price of one physical Bible that's a lot more compact. So that is a great resource. Now, my favorite all-around study Bible. Well, you've heard me talk about my two primary translations are the BSB and the CSB. Those are the ones that I kind of gravitate to. I love a lot of other translations. I've got videos on here of the different translations that I really, really enjoy and how I like to compare translations and how I do it. You can search my channel for that. But if I was just getting somebody one study Bible, and that I find that the most robust study Bible that I've found is the ESV Study Bible. And again, a friend of mine gave me this as a gift. This is a really nice premium edition, but you can get a hardback or regular paperback. There are lots of different editions, but if you search ESV Study Bible, I just find that the way that they've done their notes, the kind of the robust nature, the depth they go into at the beginning of each book to give background and context and where that book fits in the salvation story. And I just find that the ESV Study Bible is, in my opinion, my favorite kind of all-in-one study Bible for that. If I had somebody who owned a Bible, but they didn't own any study Bible at all, this is probably the one that I would get. So just search, you can click the link below. I'll put a link to one of the less expensive, kind of the hardback ones or paperback ones, and then this one as well, if you want to get somebody a premium Bible. But if you just search on ESV Study Bible, then you'll find lots and lots of different formats and layouts. But that's a fantastic study Bible. All right, finally, if you want to give somebody a gift that is going to be kind of a treasured Bible for years and years to come, that they can even pass on to their kids, and it's just going to last and stay. Then investing in a premium Bible, and this one is I've done an interview with Cale Bird from Bird Bound Bibles, and I'll link down below to his. There is also a company called Humble Lamb. I've done an interview with Daniel Arroyo, the CEO of that company. There are different premium Bible publishers that some will do, like Humble Lamb. Their focus is really creating these premium Bibles with premium leather. You can pick your colors and styles and all of that, and purchase that premium Bible. Cale Bird and Bird Bound Bibles, their focus is taking a Bible that you already have. Maybe it's your great grandfather's Bible, or it's a Bible that you own, and rebinding it in premium leather and with nice lining and hand sewn and everything. So these will obviously cost a lot more money. They're going to be somewhere in the $200 to $350 range, but it's going to be kind of that cherished gift that you give that's really, really nice. And man, if you have somebody's Bible that is just falling apart, again, a grandparent or something like that, a Bible, your parent, and you have a Bible that's just kind of falling apart, then what Cale does with rebinding Bibles, great. So I'll link to both Birdbound Bibles as well as Humble Lamb down below, whether you're just wanting to purchase a premium Bible or whether you're wanting to rebind one of your existing Bibles. But to give somebody that cherished gift, obviously that's a lot more money than most people spend on a Bible. But if you're really wanting to give somebody a fantastic gift, then a premium Bible could be the one. So those are my top Bibles, and links again are all below. I would love to hear from you. What is your favorite Bible to give as a gift? And put that in the comments below. I would love to check out the Bibles that you like to give away. And so I hope that you have a wonderful Christmas, and I will see you in the next video.